We are continuing to follow some breaking news out of India. This is a live look here from New Delhi, India, where there was an explosion that has left at least 8 people dead. The very latest is this. A car exploded near the historic Red Fort in New Delhi, India today, killing at least 8 people, injuring several others, and also triggering a fire that damaged several vehicles parked nearby. That's according to New Delhi police. Several fire engines rushed to the scene after that blast was reported near one of the gates of the Red Fort metro station. At this hour, the cause of the explosion remains unclear. This is a live look at the aftermath, and you can see the charred remains of this vehicle right here. I also wanted to share this social media post from ANI saying that a call was received regarding an explosion in a car near gate number 1 of the Red Fort metro station, after which 3 to 4 vehicles also caught fire and sustained damage. That's according to the Delhi Fire Department. For more on this, I do want to bring in ANI Editor-in-Chief Smita Prakash to share with us the very latest information. And Smita, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you. What we do know right now is that the blast occurred in that white-colored sedan, which you're showing on your screen. It occurred at 6:55 p.m. on the 10th evening, and there was a blast. It was the kind of a fireball which came out from that car. The car was moving, according to eyewitnesses who saw that, and there were dozens of cars which were parked at the entrance of the medieval Red Fort. Because it was rush hour, there were hundreds of people walking on the sidewalks near where that explosion took place. Now, the Red Fort is closed for visitors on Monday. So providentially, I think the death toll could have been higher had tourists been streaming out of the Red Fort if it had been any other weekday. The impact of the explosion was so huge, eyewitnesses say, that the nearby buildings, the windows were shattered and the buildings were shaking, they said. This is what eyewitnesses said, who rushed out immediately. Fire tenders were on the scene within minutes, despite it being a rush hour at that time. 13 people were killed and more than 20 have suffered grievous wounds. Grievous injuries. Now, the injuries are not shrapnel wounds or pellet wounds, is what the doctors are telling us, which means that it is not. And also at the site of the blast, there is no major crater, and what the people around are saying is that it looked like a ball of fire. So usually what one sees from a blast is not what one is seeing at the site of that explosion which took place. Now, there are multiple CCTV cameras in this place because it is a high security zone. So when the investigations begin and details emerge, we'll get to know about who was in that sedan. So far, what we've learned is that just about a half hour before this bulletin, when I'm speaking to you, one person has been taken into custody. Initial reports indicate that this person could be the owner of that car, though off the record we are hearing that the owner of the car says that he does not own it anymore and he has sold that car. So again, it's all sketchy. We are not getting any on the record information as yet. But a number of citizen shot videos are coming on various TV channels and on the social media sites. And I think there's also a number of investigative agencies which have rushed to the spot. The Internal Home Minister, one who's in charge of internal security, he visited the scene of crime or the scene of the blast within 2.5 hours of the blast having taken place. The Indian capital really hasn't seen this kind of an explosion or blast. We still don't know if it is terror related or not. Just this morning, a huge amount of explosives were seized by joint operation of the police of 3 states. almost like I think over 2 tons of explosive material and some detonators were seized. And the police said that it seemed like a sleeper cell of a terror organization had been busted. Ever since then, state police units across the country have been on high alert. Now, was some explosive material being transported in this car or not? We're not sure as yet.
And I
Over
did
to you.
want to, and Smita, I did want to share this. This is from ANI, and you just mentioned this. It says, following the blast, the Central Industrial Security Force has issued a high alert across the country, including airports, Delhi Metro, heritage sites, government buildings, and other key installations under its security cover. And I know that you mentioned that, authorities are not yet ruling out whether this might be terrorism related. I have to imagine they're taking this incredibly seriously, as a lot of these major facilities and locations are on high alert. What is the next step when it comes to investigating and determining the cause of this blast?
So there is the forensic experts who are already there. The Canine squad is already on location. So this area will be cordoned off for a couple of hours. Already the information has been given out by the Delhi police that the markets around the area, the bazaars around the area, now the bazaars here in this area have been operational for hundreds of years. It sounds a little bizarre, but these bazaars really go back to medieval times, and they have been passed down generations. So they're rarely ever shut down unless there's a major security threat. The fact that all bazaars have been told to shut down operations tomorrow means that all CCTV cameras in likelihood are going to be taken down and examined for footage regarding where this car moved from, what was the origin of that, the path that the car took. That will be examined. The second thing is that we have, as you would know, that India and Pakistan have been on a state of high alert since the month of May, when the two almost went to war. It was a 4-day conflict that happened, and India has not yet put its guard down. Operationally, we are still in a state of conflict or near warlike situation. So the armed forces are still on alert at the border with Pakistan. So it's a state of what should I say, a kind of a tense situation. Also, we have just moved out of the festive season in the country, but there will be more police deployment at all religious places of worship, at schools, metro stations, airports, railway stations, interstate bus terminals. Also, tomorrow is a polling day in a major North Indian state. The second round of polling takes place. So there will be hundreds of thousands of people who will be at the polling station. So, safe elections is something which is very important for Indian democracy. So the state machinery in the state of Bihar, the police machinery in the state of Bihar will be on high alert to ensure that free, safe polling happens tomorrow in Bihar.
And no doubt that they are continuing to cover all of the angles of this. Smita, we appreciate you joining us here on Live Now from Fox as we continue to follow this breaking news out of New Delhi, India. And we are going to make sure that we continue checking in with ANI as you are covering all angles of this. I did want to share this live look with you, and viewer discretion is always advised. But also this is a social media post from Modi right here, saying condolences to those who have lost their loved ones in the blast in Delhi earlier this evening. May the injured recover at the earliest. Those affected are being assisted by authorities. Reviewed the situation with Home Minister and other officials. So India on high alert now after this blast that killed at least 8 people, and investigators not ruling anything out, including terrorism. We, of course, will bring you the very latest right here on Live Now from Fox.